You could see other things I see. Peace and love. Peace, 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 family. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, 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 peace. Quick Sunday live. Can everybody hear me good? Can everybody hear me good? Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Yeah, right on time. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Make sure y'all share to somebody. Make sure y'all share. What, man? I'm addicted to that juice, man. What, man? I get mine from Sprouts. Y'all know they got the different. They got cran apple. I mean, I got cranberry. They got the real apple. They got the real grape. What? I be sipping on that all day like it's wine for sure. But yeah, y'all, this live, tag somebody that you know that has rent. All right, rent or mortgage. I just know a lot of folks have leases. Okay, rent or mortgage. Tag somebody that has rent or mortgage. I know some people are in Sunday service. All right, but this is real Sunday service, and not to step on any pastor's toes or anything like that. Can y'all hear me good? I'm like right beside like the road. Let me know if y'all can y'all hear all that in the back? Can y'all hear all that in the back? Y'all can? Okay. Oh, it's loud and clear. I'm just want to make sure y'all can hear. Because if it's too loud in the back, we can adjust. Okay, cool. All right, so listen, family. Listen. I just remember where I was at when I did not know this information, y'all. Like, I just remember where I was. Literally, I remember where I was before I understood this information, y'all. I remember working long hours. Okay, I remember, selling weed, and I wasn't a street guy. Okay, like I was an athlete that just didn't make it, right? And I was trying to figure out, damn, what am I about to do now? Now it might not be messing y'all up, but it's kind of messing me up. Okay, because I can kind of hear the cars, and I gotta be focused when I'm telling y'all this. Okay, so listen. Before I knew this information, all right, me personally, I really was telling myself, damn, I think I have to actually work 20 years to get a pension. Okay, I just remember where I was at, all right, when this information crossed my path, family. All right, now my biggest thing that I attacked first was my rent. All right, my biggest thing that I attacked first was my rent. Okay, my biggest account first. Okay, I didn't start with my utility. I didn't start with my phone bill. I was like, hey, yo, I'm gonna take my rent, and I did. I was doing it wrong, okay, but my persistence and my follow up game was real strong. That's something I understood, okay. Meaning I was all over the place, but one thing I did do, I kept sending them letters. I kept calling them, and me kind of going like me communicating with them is what really bought myself time. Okay, and to the point they didn't even know what to do, so they didn't send me anything for like 9 months. Okay, so with that information, I moved to South Florida because I was like, hey, yo, if I can do this up here in South Carolina, man, I'm about to go to Florida. I'm about to go to South Florida. Okay. Now, keep in mind, y'all. I had these headphones in. Keep in mind, y'all. All right. Miami and South Florida area is one of the most expensive places to live in the world. Let me say that one more time. South Florida is one of the most expensive places to live in the world. Okay. Now, did I think about that? Hell no. All I was thinking about was I want to be around water. Okay. And I know it's a melting pot in South Florida, meaning it's a lot of everybody. Okay. Meaning different mentalities, different energies. Okay. Which could be good, which could also be bad. So I moved to Florida. Okay. Didn't know Florida's laws. This is just me because I'm a very impulsive person. Okay. And after I learned that I could do this in South Carolina. No offense to South Carolina, I met some amazing people, amazing place, okay? But when it comes to environment resources, I wouldn't trade South Florida with damn near anywhere in the United States, to be honest with you. Okay? So now, once I'm not even thinking about the finances at this point, because I'm like, hey, I'm gonna live or die by my rights. That's one thing. Okay, that's one thing I told myself. Like, I'm about to move all my shit to Florida. If this shit don't work, it's gonna work. I didn't know y'all literally, I have jumped off so many porches before. So when I moved to Florida, I'm like, yo, this is just another mountain I've conquered many mountains. So I had that ego about myself. I'm like, yo, didn't even read the rules and procedures of Florida. I didn't know that I had to pay the court registry just for me to fight eviction. So with that small piece of information, I need everyone to understand the rules and procedures in the eviction process before you even start anything that I'm about to talk about. Okay? I'm going to say it again. Before you start any of this, step one, you need to understand the rules and procedures of eviction. Like, meaning, what's the process? All right, y'all, go ahead and write this down right quick. Chat GBT. Chat G. Is it PT? Chat GPT. Is it GPT or GBT? One of them. But write that down, family. All right. Chat GPT. Okay, cool. Chat GPT. Write this down. Okay, because I know a lot of us need that hands-on assistant. I can't possibly be everybody's hands-on assistant. Okay. And I know a lot of folks that teaches this and have classes don't have time to just be hands-on with everyone. So guess who can be hands-on with you 24 hours? Chat GPT. Okay? Now, what am I asking Chat GPT? I'm asking Chat GPT things like, okay, what is the eviction process in the state of Texas? All right, what is the eviction process for the state of South Carolina? All right, I'm asking these are things that I didn't do. Okay, so I'm just kind of letting y'all know some of us have went through the valley for you. Okay, some of us have went through the trials and errors for you. That's why a lot of us, okay, have this way of not really wanting to deal with a lot because we've been through it already, and the worst thing you can do is try to tell somebody, okay, what to do, and they just be like, okay, can you help me though? Can you? Family, you got to read. Okay, the topic is, if you are tired of paying rent, these are the steps you should take. If you are tired of paying rent, if you are tired of paying mortgage, these is the steps you should take. All right, now I'm asking ChatGPT, what is the foreclosure process in the state of boom? Okay. Now, of course, family, somebody said don't take what ChatGPT says as 100% facts. Okay, I agree with that. All right, because you can't just go to ChatGPT and ask, "Hey, ChatGPT, how do I endorse all my bills?" Fam, you got to ask it smart questions. You have to ask it intelligent questions because it may give you the foundation of where you need to start, but you still got to go outside of that and do your own research so you can kind of put two and two together. Okay, now I'm going to ChatGPT asking things like, "What is the foreclosure process?" All right, what is the eviction process? Not prices, my bad. I'm kind of country. I said process. He said foreclosure prices. Nah, foreclosure process in my state. Correct. Now, why am I asking these questions? Because I got to learn the game. I got to learn the defenses. I got to learn the offenses. For me to be a great player in this economy game, I have to be a student of the game. And if I don't know the worst case scenario, okay, and the worst case scenario in any situation is what? A lawsuit. Lawsuit when it's between a tenant and a landlord is eviction. All right, or when it's dealing with a mortgage, it's foreclosure. Dealing with a bank. Okay, does that make sense? If that makes sense, comment the number 1. Comment the number 1. All right, if that makes sense, comment the number 1. If it doesn't make sense at all right, comment the number 2. Okay. If it doesn't make sense at all, comment the number 2. The worst case scenario in any situation is a lawsuit. When you're dealing with a landlord and a tenant, the lawsuit is eviction. Or, like say they're trying to foreclose. Well, if the bank was trying to foreclose you on your house. All right, number 2. Somebody I got a couple of number 2s. All right, for those that says number 2, which part of that was kind of confusing to you, so I can kind of better understand. All right. We're not talking about tickets right now. We're focusing on rent and mortgage. I'm sure your rent and mortgage is way more important than that ticket, my friend. All right. So basically what I'm saying is when you understand, okay, my landlord is suing me, or okay, the bank is suing me. Cool. All right. Let me understand the defenses that I can do to defend the claim. Yes, keep paying rent until you establish understanding. Good question. Keep paying rent. All right, this is a disclaimer, family. Please keep paying your rent. All right, none of you are ready to just abruptly just perform, because until you learn how to enforce your performance, and I'm gonna get to that part, you should just keep paying, keep going to work. All right, but you need to be putting things aside. All right, so you can understand what's more important. Okay. Some people say I tell ChatGPT it's wrong. Some people say ChatGPT definitely be wrong. So let me ask y'all this: how often is it wrong, and how often is it right? I'm gonna ask again: how often is ChatGPT wrong? How often is ChatGPT right? Come on now. Come on, man. We going with the odds. We going with the percentage, the analytics, the data. 50-50. Come on now. It's folks out here that have whole classes built off of ChatGPT. There's people that literally draft their letters based off of the information they get from ChatGPT. I know folks that y'all just asking the wrong questions. That's why y'all probably asking a baby question and it's giving you a generic answer. You know what I'm saying? You probably ask a question like, "Hey, how do I get all the money back I've ever paid?" And they're like, "Well, to get a refund, there must be," you know what I'm saying? Come on now, 85% minimum. All right. I know the ChatGPT 85% right. Come on now, but we ain't gonna spend too much time on this. So y'all getting off focus. Y'all are getting off focus. Okay, y'all see how we get so well ChatGPT, bro? Man, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's focus, y'all. Let's focus. I said, if you need somebody there to be 24 hours with you, ChatGPT is your best bet, because nobody is going to be around for free just giving you answers. That's what I'm saying. So ChatGPT is definitely something a person should use, okay? But moving forward, all right? Now, I'm asking questions like to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, what is the eviction process in my state? I'm asking that because I want to know the eviction process step by step. Meaning in eviction, the landlord has to go to the court, file a lawsuit for eviction, meaning the tenant is not paying. Now, there's a code here in Florida called 83.49. I know it like the back of my hand. All right, because I remember when I first moved to Florida, I really didn't know the laws, so I had to kind of, I don't know, for some reason I work good with my back against the wall. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all may be the same way, but I work amazingly when my back is against the wall. I don't work so good when my back ain't against the wall, you know, and I hate that about myself. But as soon as I got here, I tried to do the same thing that I was doing when I was in South Carolina. Things wasn't working. I was literally just trying things. I'm sending things to the court like, hey, I'm facing financial hardship. All right, just putting in motions just to see what worked and what don't work. Y'all didn't have nobody that was holding my hand. I was out here just throwing things in there. All right, I said something about my Stripe account is froze, and that's why all my business is held, just to see what they was gonna say. Okay, just motion here, motion there. All right, now to my experience, they denied all my motions. Now I always had the money to pay if it always came down to that, but I'm not just going to give the money, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try everything that I could. I resorted all resources. I tried this, I tried that. Not saying that stuff wouldn't work. I just think I was doing it out of capacity, and that's why the universe didn't have it to work for me. Okay, all right. So what happened? Remember, here in Florida, you have to pay the court registry. Okay, so I was trying all my hardest not to pay the court registry, because down here in Florida, when you go through eviction, think about it. When you go through eviction, you can't just say, well, nah, I don't want to pay. I'll tell you why. Nah, you have to pay the court registry. So meaning, let me give an example, because I feel like I'm talking very fast right now. Let me give an example. Okay. There's laws here in Florida, okay, where you have to pay the court registry if you're going through eviction. Meaning, if you are the tenant and your landlord puts you through eviction, right, for the court to even hear your case, you have to pay the court whatever the landlord says you owe the landlord. So let me give you an example. Say your landlord says you owe $4,000, right? They do an eviction. The court is going to send you eviction paperwork, all right, giving you options. One of the options is going to be, hey, pay. One of the options can be, hey, you can leave. And another option is going to be, if you feel these claims are not true, please send in writing reasoning, and also deposit the money that's in question to the court registry. Now, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Okay? And I highly doubt those that are not in Florida, you don't have to go through this. I feel like I conquered Goliath. Okay? Because I feel like I stepped in the jungle and was like, oh, shit, I didn't know I had to do this. Luckily, I had the money to pay the court registry. Okay? Luckily, I had, because if I didn't have the money to pay court registry, I would have been evicted, default judgment, pack your stuff, get out of here. Okay? But the fact that I had the money to put into the court registry, I was able to live to fight another day. And just to see how the court opened up to me after I deposited that money to the court registry, I'm like, God damn, what if I didn't have that? But that's why it goes back to, okay, if you don't have the money, you better have capacity. You better have a way of structuring it where, hey, I've already performed. Okay? All right, so think about it. So let me keep going. So after in Florida, I'm just giving y'all the worst case scenario. Some of y'all don't even got to worry about this because you're not in Florida. It's like one other state that has a court registry. I'm mad I still don't know that by heart. Okay, there's like 2 states that have to pay a court registry. I know there's Florida for one. Okay, but there is another state that you have to pay a court registry. Okay, all right, but anyway, when you're going through court down here, all right, you're going through eviction. You have to pay the court registry. All right, after I paid the court registry, then they started listening to my defense. My defense was, hey, I've already performed. I've already accepted the contract, accepted the due balance that's owed to the principal, because y'all got to remember, all debts are owed to the principal. Now, who is the principal? The principal is the government name that you use when you applied for that unit or applied for that house. Remember, so sometimes we got to go back. We got to time travel. That's why, again, if you don't know your history, you're going to keep repeating it. So many of us doesn't understand what we've already did, so we keep doing it. Okay? We keep doing it. All right? Remember, when you apply, gotta hear the verbiage. You apply. Did that corporation apply to you? No. Meaning that corporation didn't invest anything with you. You invest in that corporation. So let me give you an example. Let's say Tom Smith went and applied to an apartment unit called Estates Landing. Let's say Estate Landing was a nice ass apartment. I'm talking about luxury penthouse, okay, floor to ceiling windows, okay, rent $9,000 a month. All right, let's say Tom Smith goes and applies. Remember, he's applying his government name. His government name is attached with a social security number. That social security number, you can look at that like a key to a lockbox. I'm going to say it again. Your social is like a key to a lockbox. And whoever you give that key to, they have access to that lockbox. Remember, that corporate Estate Landing didn't give Tom Smith a social. Tom Smith gave Estate Landing a social. Now, comment 1 if that makes sense. Comment 2 if, man, what the fuck are you talking about? All right? Excuse my language on the Sunday. I ain't supposed to be cursing on Sunday. My apologies. Won't happen again. All right? Comment 1 if that makes sense. Comment 2 if you just like, what is he talking about? All right, we back. Okay, so yeah, so I see a lot of ones. I see a lot of ones. 2. I see a 2 in there. Nah, I ain't going. I'm here. See a lot of 2s there. Nah, they not messing my live up. I had to grab my DoorDash. Had to get some fruit for my babies. A lot of ones. I see a 2 in there. Okay, still confused, I see. All right. The one that comment 2, what's confusing about that? You can still hear me? Can you still hear me? We good? Some of y'all might have to come out and come in. Okay, cool. All right, so think about it. For those that are confused. All right, let me say it again. Okay. And y'all gotta remember, I don't write anything down. Okay. When I say I'm about to go live, I kind of just be like, okay, this is what I feel like talking about. It goes like that. All right. So for the one that's commented too that just doesn't understand. All right, let me give you an example. Let's say a guy named Tom Smith. All right, for all my visual thinkers or visual folks, visualize a person named Tom Smith. Now remember, that person Tom Smith is really you. Okay, but let's just use Tom Smith as an example. Tom Smith is looking for a place to stay. Tom Smith sees a luxury apartment, penthouse, in a very good location, Tom Smith is not thinking about the money, because Tom Smith understands what a consumer credit transaction is. So stay with me. So Tom Smith goes to an establishment called Estate Landing. Let's say Estate Landing is a luxurious apartment building. All right, Tom Smith goes in there. Tom Smith applies, right? Okay. Biscolar. Yes. I paid all fees and security deposit to move in. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's say Tom sees somewhere he likes. So Tom Smith goes to Estate Landing and says, hey, do y'all have a 3-bedroom unit available? 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I need this amount of square footage. Okay. I need these amenities. Okay. And I need a high floor. Penthouse to be exact. And they say, yes, we do have an availability. First, you need to apply. Now think about it, family. Can I apply for a 1-bedroom unit if I really need a 3-bedroom unit? What are they going to tell me? They're going to say apply for a 3-bed unit. Why? Because my application is going to be worth a 3-bed unit. So think about it. Tom Smith goes and applies. What did Tom Smith apply to Estate Landing? Tom Smith gave them an application that provided a first name, last name, and a social. The social is a key, okay, to the treasury account of Tom Smith. Let me say it again. The social access number or social security number, it should really be your social security card number, okay, is basically a key to your estate. We all have estates, family. When we die, we have estates that get passed over either to the family or to the state. Okay? Understanding that. All right? Now, there's a lot of information out there saying we don't got no this. We do have that. Okay? Basic understanding. So you can go ahead and wipe all the misconfusion. Okay? We all have treasury accounts. That's why we have social security cards. But you don't just have access to millions placed on billions and trillions, cadillions, if you don't understand how to use that social. It's like telling a kid, hey, when you get old enough to drive, I'll give you the keys. So many of us are very older, all right, and we do not know how to use our key. We give our keys out. So Tom Smith goes to Estate Landing and he gives his keys out. He gave his key to his lockbox. His lockbox is his treasury account. Okay, he put it on a piece of paper. He put it, rather it's online or physical. It doesn't matter. All right, it doesn't matter so much that Congress said, yo, let's knock out the confusion. We're gonna have a what's the Electronic Signature Act, just to cover everybody's confusion. I know somebody gonna ask, well, what if it was online? That's it's the same, family. Okay, the Electronic Signature Act basically said anything online is good as it is in your face. Okay, so he goes online, he applies, he puts his first name, last name, he puts his birthday, he puts his social, meaning he gives the keys, he gives the access number to his treasury account. All right, he then goes down to the bottom of that application and signs it. And he hits that tab that says submit. You just submitted your request. You just submitted your application. You just applied using your credit card. You just prepaid. Okay? You just prepaid. Okay? You just prepaid. So many of us don't know that because we're so focused on our income and so focused on our credit score. One second, family. Give me 1 second, family. Give me 1 second. Alright, family. My bad. We back. Had to make a fruit bowl for my babies. I ran outside. Thought they was asleep. Alright, we back, family. Okay, so what was the last thing y'all heard me say? What's the last thing y'all heard me say? Who's been following along? Does all security deposit fees go under the finance charge? Yes, but family, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's best to just pay the fees in the beginning. I'm talking about like apartment units, right? Just pay the fees to get in, because you can't, like, let's be realistic for just a little bit. You can't just go to a corporation and say, hey, I want to add all my finance payment or fees to my finance charge. They're gonna be like, okay, well, sir, what, you still got to give us something. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's better to pay them in the beginning so you can at least get into the unit. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's, go ahead and kind of feed the system. Give them that initial payment in the beginning just so you can get in. It's better to be in than be outside trying to beat on the door. All right, so yeah, so back to Tom Smith. So Tom Smith goes to Estates Landings, okay? He provides his government first name, last name, social, which is a key to his treasury account. His treasury account is attached to his social security account, okay? That's why we all have social security cards, okay? All right. And I see, we was talking to the two. So the guy that commented two, because I was saying if this information is making sense, comment one. If it's not, comment two. All right, I had a couple of people comment two. All right, just always remember, every time you apply, okay, every time you apply, you are the one investing into that corporation. That corporation isn't investing in you. Okay, remember, that corporation is not investing in you because you gave that corporation your key. The corporation didn't give you a key. The bank didn't give you anything. For y'all that think you're in a loan because you're the borrower, you are confused. We were all confused. That's not true. The one that gives the access number is the owner. And who gave the access number? The owner. Think about it. Think about it. Every single bill you're paying on right now, really think about it. Did you give them an application? Meaning you gave them something before they gave you something, right? So many people will say things like this. Well, the application was just to see if I got qualified. I'm like, yeah, that's the matrix. They done convinced us thinking, okay, after we give them the application, now they got the right to judge us whether we right or wrong. After I give you the application, by law, it's already receivable by all national and member banks. Think about it. Think about it. And how do we know that? How did we know that? Federal Reserve, Section 16, Part 1. All right, I'm starting to see people getting mad because I see y'all see people that literally just pop back up out of nowhere. Y'all see people all of a sudden talking about how bill of exchange isn't legit. How I see people commenting or making posts saying, people still talking about the bill of exchange. I thought we was past it. How the hell we gonna be past the bill of exchange if that's the basis of all business? Y'all be hearing folks, you can kind of start seeing folks' ego, and I always wonder why folks didn't get it to a certain level. I'm like, oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? This ain't no damn trend. This ain't no hobby. Okay, what? So be careful for those folks. They let you know them people always changing they process every damn 90 days. We still doing that? What? We still Bill of exchange, we passed that. How the fuck are we past? I'm gonna cuss again. How are we past bill of exchange, family? But let's stay focused. All right, Federal Reserve Section 16, Part 1 specifically states that it's receivable. And I be seeing some of y'all laughing. I be seeing y'all in the comments literally egging that shit on like, yeah. So a lot of y'all followers is so two-faced, it's crazy. Y'all get over here and ha 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 ha. Then get over there, ha, yeah. Come back over here, ha ha ha, yeah. Man, I be laughing, man. But yeah, Federal Reserve Section 16, Part 1 and Part 2. So we're gonna talk about Part 1 because I'm gonna be talking about this for the next 20 years. Because the law doesn't damn change. So why should I change? Why would I change the information if you feel what I'm saying? Yes. All right. So Federal Reserve Section 16, Part 1 specifically states that the application is receivable by all national and member banks. Meaning my application is received, not denied, receivable. Not denied, receivable. Go read it, family. That's why I'm saying I say these things so y'all can go read for yourself and see like, oh, damn. It said it's all receivable by banks. It said that back in 2022. And guess what? I woke up this morning and read Federal Reserve Section 16, Part 1, and it said the same damn thing. So why would I change what I'm talking about if the law never... But these laws is old as hell. Why would I change? And that's what we go wrong with. We always trying to fix something that ain't broke. All these broken people, okay, trying to fix something that ain't broke. And y'all listeners need to figure out who you gonna ride with. It ain't about riding. Like, just go read for yourself. You don't gotta play patty cake on both sides. Exactly. Laws don't change, people do. Exactly. All right. But anyways, understand. Okay, your application the application that Tom Smith gave Estate Landing, okay, that application, Estate Landing took that application and sent it over to a bank. Did y'all know that? For those that was attendance, I didn't know that. I didn't know once I gave my application. I thought it just went into one of their files in the back room. You know what I'm saying? They kind of did there. I didn't know they send that over to banks. I didn't know that. You know why I didn't know that? Because I never did my homework. I never did I didn't watch the film on my opponent. Not even an opponent. I didn't do my film on my business partner. That's really what's going on. Okay, that's really what's going on. Okay, so they take that application, send it over to a bank. That bank opens up either a interest bearing or a non-interest bearing account. You gotta remember, banks are the middleman. Banks are the middleman. Yes, that quick, family. Yes, that quick. How long you think it takes to e-file a document? See, we still live in the old time like, shoot, that's fast, family. This happens in minutes. We're the only country that can create credit in minutes. I should say seconds. As soon as they submit, you get a response in less than 30 seconds. You've been approved, right? Right. It don't take long. All that paperwork that they be doing is the reason why it take long. Oh, we need to see your pay stubs. Oh, we need to see this. We need to see proof of it. That's what make the process long. That's what make the process long, fam. It's supposed to be, we're not supposed to show these people nothing. We're supposed to just walk up and say, hey, yo, I like this right there. Here's my social. Here's my access number. Here's my authorization. Okay, and here's my instructions, meaning my tender of payment with that. Okay, here you go. They're supposed to process it and say, okay, cool. All right, when do you like to move in? That's how it's supposed to go. Does it go like that? No, family. No, it doesn't go like that. Because first and foremost, we're not even giving them instructions to our applications. So since we aren't giving them instructions to our applications, and what do it says you're supposed to add a tender? Federal Reserve Section 16, Part 1 or Part 2. They said the same thing 5 years ago, and it said the same thing today. Come on now. Folks mad because they platform ain't booming. That's what's going on. Folks mad because they platform isn't booming. They still trying to go from this process. This name still ain't out there. Then they try to hit you with the, well, I don't want to be out there. Well, why you got a social media then? They sound dumb as hell. Well, why you got a damn social media then? Why you got on your social media, you got posts talking about laws and stuff? Okay, think about it. All right, but yes, your instructions are supposed to be accompanied with your application. Now, for those that are thinking to yourself, well, what about the applications that are online? Okay, that's fine and dandy. Record the application number. What do I mean by record? Write the application number down before you submit it. Okay, but I would say go ahead and do your work before. Go ahead and fill out in the tender of payment. All right, have you a template already ready for anything you apply for. It's the same damn letter. Okay, now I'm not telling y'all to go copy and just, oh, it's the same letter. Family, it's not. You can't be a robot in this. You can't just send off documents and think they're gonna move. You're gonna have to explain your case. Remember, this is a special form of payment. Okay, a rare form of payment that the general population does not do. Okay, so you're going to be dealing with folks that doesn't understand that form of payment that you're sending them, and that's why you have to show your work. But so many people that just copy and paste don't know how to show their work because it's not their work. Okay, it's not their work. All right, now what would I do? I will go ahead and have my application with my instructions already filled out before I apply to anything. Find what I want, go get that application online, or rather if it's online, submit it online, but send that reference number and put it on my tender of payment. Okay, and also send that to the headquarters, or also send that to the legal department, not legal department, but the executive department, customer relations, or headquarters, CFO department, the highest department that I can find. Okay, and how can I find that? Easily by Googling, okay, or easily going to that company's website and figuring out, okay, where's their establishment. Okay, for sure. Okay, now let's say they get my things and they like, well, we don't understand this, sir. You got to do this. I'm not gonna sit there and argue with them. If they say, well, you got to give a deposit, you got to pay first month rent, I'm going to go ahead and give it to them. Okay? Somebody asked about UCCs. If you know how to do UCCs, yes. Okay, yes. I know a couple of years ago I was like, F them UCCs. No, forget that. UCCs are definitely useful if you know how to use it, but so many people are in that lane, they're just copying and pasting. You got to really know which UCC is used for what. Okay, now when I get my application and I have my my instructions, now if they don't abide by instructions, cool, I ain't gonna fight them. All right, I'm gonna pay the deposit, pay first month. Now I got 30 days to have a conversation with them. Okay. All right. Yes, I do have webinars. But yeah, so that's with anything. All right. So let's say if I'm already in my lease, right? I'm already in my mortgage. What are some steps I can do right now? All right. First and foremost, what I want to do is get my hands on my lease. I want to get my hands on my mortgage. So many of us are in leases. So many of us are in mortgages and don't even have our hand on the exact contract. Links in my bio, family. Links in my bio. Okay. Validation of debt, 30 days from the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Friend, what does that have to do with accepting rights? We're not disputing a debt. We're accepting the debt. You're talking about the credit reporting agencies, you know, getting certain things off your credit report, but we're not going to the bank and saying what debt. There is a debt. Debt is good. If there's a debt, you know, if there's credit. The topic of the day is, if you're tired of paying rent, these are some of the steps that you need to take. We've already talked about step 1. You might just gonna have to watch this video again. All right. But yeah, so step 2. So step 1 was basically, you need to get your hands on your contract. You need to get your hands on your lease. You need to get your hands on your mortgage. No, my bad. Step one was going to ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, what is the eviction process in my state? All right, what is the eviction process, or what is the foreclosure process in my state? Okay. All right, then I need to understand the rules and procedures of eviction, because so many people try to go this route and then get hit with eviction. Like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. I don't know. Like, what do you mean you're scared? You got to know, if you're trying to exercise your rights and the other corporations not hearing you, they're going to sue you. Okay, that's what it's going to boil down to. They're not just going to sit back and take your document and say, all right, thank you. Family, that's not how it goes. Okay, hopefully it go like that for you, but go ahead and prepare for the worst case scenario. ChatGPT. Yeah, for sure. Okay, because you always got to remember, your application was the security interest that was given. Your application was the security collateral, but the problem was your security collateral did not come with your instructions. Meaning, everybody that is paying their rent right now, you're only paying because you never instructed them to use your security interest to cover all debts owed to you. And that sounds so crazy, structuring it in my mind and articulating it. That shit sound crazy. I don't even know what I just said just now. I don't even know what I just said just now. But hopefully y'all caught whatever just came out. Yeah, that shit, yeah, that's crazy. We didn't give them instructions. Hey, imagine building a business, hiring workers, and not giving them no instructions. Oh my God. So you go to work mad. Where my money at? They like, boss, you didn't tell us what to do. So shit, we started partying. I mean, hell, you ain't said that in 30 years. Family, you can't say we didn't know, family. Y'all can't say that, okay? I used to be rocking with everybody, but well, we didn't know. We can't use that. Why didn't we read what we signed? We can't use that, family. That's the basically curing the peasant mentality. No, we can't keep saying that. We did know. Because we refused to know. That means we knew. Once they slid that contract over, we had the chance to read it and we didn't read it. We can't keep saying, well, I didn't know. Well, you know, they didn't teach us this. They didn't teach us how to read. We did know, family. That's the problem. Anybody that's moving around say, well, you know, I didn't know. You got to put the blame on you and your family. Why don't you know? I had to ask myself like, damn, why don't I know? Nobody hid this from me. This not like it's in the woods somewhere, like you got to pay a price to, man, y'all, you can go to Google and look up the Federal Reserve Act. This stuff is free. And I'm like, yo, what section have I been in that kept my eyes from this information? Okay? It's us, family. It's always been us, and it will start with us, and it's going to end with us. And after it end with us, it will begin with us. Okay? All right? So you got to think about it. The biggest problem everybody's having right now, the reason why you're paying, y'all, it's bigger than rent. I'm just making the topic today about rent, but it's for all your bills. The reason why you're paying bills, the reason why you have a job right now is because you didn't read the contracts that you are paying rent or paying the bill on. Just think about that. You got a job. to go pay something that you already paid. Let that marinate a little bit. And imagine being a person that's hears what I just said and still have a cognitive dissonance about themselves and say, well, yeah, shit, I gotta keep food on the table. I don't know what you want me to do. Well, I don't know what to tell you then, friend. Please get off this channel. You are literally working for your own money. I've elaborated, family. Sometimes we elaborate in the simplest form, but so many people wanted this be said even broken down even more, not understanding, hey, just hear me slow. I just explained it. You getting a job to go get money, to go pay a bill that you already prepaid using an application. Your application that you gave them already prepaid, but the problem is you didn't give them instructions. I know this. You know this. You didn't give them instructions. The law doesn't say that they're supposed to give you instructions, because if that was the case, they're the owners. You went in there, said, I need a house. You went in there and didn't read. You went in there and got a job to pay something that you didn't even read. Insanity, family. The slave master is the slave himself. Oh, that's a bar. I ain't never said that before. Oh, snap. I got the pastor hat on today. Okay, the slave master is turned out to be the slave himself or herself. Ain't no damn slave masters. Ain't no damn slave. Ain't nobody stopped me from going Google. Ain't no Illuminati come through the sky. Okay. Nobody came through and said, we got your cousin. Drop this information or we gonna cut your cousin up in half. Nobody has yet to say that. Okay. Every time my camera mess up, it don't need to be nothing about no damn Illuminati. It be my damn somebody calling me. But when I get back on, somebody, oh my God, the Illuminati got him. We are such children. I just remember thinking the same thing, like, oh my God, the Illuminati's gonna get us if we learn too much. That's what poor folks tell themselves. What if we found out there is no Illuminati? Just secret groups playing on the fears and playing on the ignorance of lower people. I could get 300 informed people, keep it to ourselves, move in a very expensive way, don't ever show what we really do, okay? And call it a secret society. Easy. Easy. Taking public information and making it private. Easy. Easy. It's gonna be one day somebody gonna look at me and they'll be like, oh man, he's a cult leader. I'm like, that I am. A secret society cult leader. Okay? For real. For real. Okay? There's no slave master, family. For those that's waking up and telling yourself, well, we can't get by because the government. You are a slave, my friend. You are the government. Imagine going to work and saying, I can't be the best I can be because my co-worker won't let me. Like, what? The government is your co-workers. Don't you have a government name? Think about it. You have a government name that makes you a government employee. You are the government, family. The Constitution starts off with, we, the people of the United States. Imagine the slave masters turning into slaves. Man, I was like, oh my God. I look at white people totally different. Okay? I really thought white people was to blame for all my downs. Every time I couldn't keep a job or every time I was broke, I was like, it's because the white people took everything. We created the stoplight. We taught them how to bathe. And I'm like, man, forget all that. Forget all that. Ain't nobody stopping me from going and reading information to get me out of my situation, because me being angry didn't get me out of my situation. Me realizing, whoa, my own people put a battery on my back to come tell me that I can only get so far in life, okay? I can only obtain so much, and if I attain too much, someone's gonna kill me, okay? That's what we're taught. That's what we're taught. Man, I don't listen to another NAACP, bro. What? My ears shut down when it comes from any of that. It shuts down, because all of that doesn't come from any information. Not saying one side was right, one side was wrong. I'm saying both sides was uninformed, and I don't want to hear from either side. I don't want to hear from a prejudiced white person. I don't want to hear from an uninformed brown person either. Okay, I think you two folks are the same person. All right, I've learned that those folks are the same people. Poor folks fight about nothing. Poor folks fight about nothing. Imagine folks in the street fighting over colors. You never see successful business owners. Rather, even if they don't like you, you would never know. They'll be kind as hell to you, but they hate your guts. But they understand business, because they understand how to put emotions aside and understand the business aspect of things. All right. And I'm saying that to say, for all those that feel like there's something that's stopping you, there is nothing that's stopping you. You are stopping yourself. There is no devil that's stopping you. On this Sunday, I wanted you to know that you are the devil, my friend. You're the slave master stopping yourself. You're the slave that's controlling the slave master. Yeah, I know. Somebody said that he don't want to get a C8 because he don't want to be targeted. Well, tell him to go get a Volkswagen. No offense to the Volkswagen, they got some nice ass Volkswagens, but tell him to go get a scooter. All right, because tell him if he's scared to be great, don't be great. If he's scared to be great, don't be great. I can see if he say, I don't want to wear my chains in a bad neighborhood. That's different. A car? Because I don't want to be a target of what? Well, I don't know what he do. He might do illegal things. So yeah, he's damn right he's a fucking target. I done cussed again on Sunday, man. I got to stop doing that. All right, he's right. He's a target. All right, everything with me is great. Okay? All right? Police pulled me over. Hi. Hey, what's going on here? No matter what they find. Okay? All right, yeah, I'll be a target today. All right? Why wouldn't I be a target? I'm a child of God. Of course, I'm a target as soon as I open my eyes up. Okay? And I ain't talking about my two eyes. I'm a target as soon as I open my eyes up. But for some of us, it's so sleep. We don't really understand the target is good. You want to be the target. You want to be the example. The only bad thing is about being a target and being an uninformed target. Now you got corporations coming at you and you like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Yeah, hell yeah. Nah, you don't want that. You don't want that. But if you were an informed target, hell yeah, put the target on my back. What? What? The Thimians. For sure. What's the emergency? How can I help? Y'all hear the verbiage. What's the emergency? How can I help? I know we veering off a little bit, but y'all see our information and you gotta just follow the rabbit hole, because you might learn a lot in a small amount of time. What's the emergency? How can I help? Because I'm a government agent, okay? Policy enforcer, how can I help you? How can I better assist your miscommunication of thinking that I'm committing a crime? How can I assist you? They'd be like, huh? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm like, sir, you stopped me. Clearly, you got your blue lights on. You know, I was told once they got the blue lights, hey, to pull on over. That's a courtesy, because that's not law, but that's a courtesy to pull on over. Just so happened you was behind me, so I'm getting out fair. Hey man, what's the emergency? Can I help? All right, because I'm willing to put on my civilian badge. Okay, if I gotta make a citizen's arrest, y'all, let me know. What y'all think Trump meant? Make America great again. Okay, on this great Sunday. What? You gotta make it great. You gotta make it great again. You can't make America great again if you're not informed. How may I assist you, officer? I'm an officer as well. I'm an officer of my corporation. High five. Ha. We doing the damn thing, ain't we? All right, but yeah, I don't have much time. So how can I help you? What crime has been committed? Because I'm here to solve the crime as quickly as possible so we can get on with daily business. I know how to talk to them folks. You don't never see me freeze up. You'll never hear me say, man, I don't talk to them people. Folks that say that is uninformed and scared children. I'm teaching my kids how to talk to the police. Okay? Imagine me telling my kids don't talk to them. And then when they get in a situation of, okay, tell us where you go. They by yourself. Now you done equip them with fear. They don't even know how to, you know what I'm saying? They gotta know how to talk. But the thing is, you don't know how to talk. Man, for real. All right. But back to the topic of the day. Steps. Okay? I'm going to ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT things like, my rules and procedures dealing with eviction in the state of whatever state you're in, or mortgage, or dealing with foreclosure, because you need to know the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario when you have a mortgage is foreclosure. Worst case scenario when you are a tenant is eviction. Once you know how to defend an eviction, once you know how to defend foreclosure, defenses win championships. If none of their claims can take place, if every claim they throw never stick, can you get evicted? Comment 1 if you feel like you can still get evicted. Comment 2 if you feel like you should not be evicted if none of the claims stick. It's kind of a exactly. Meaning if my team plays immaculate defense and you score 0 points and I score a point on defense, who just won? Who just won, family? That's why I teach people the worst case scenario. I don't teach you just fairy tale fluffs and things like that. No, I literally tell anybody y'all see read that's mad at me, it's because they didn't read, family. I have yet to find a person that's actually read and that was mad at me. 100% of the people that's mad at me are non-readers. Okay? For sure. Okay? So again, you got folks that are beating their eviction. Now let's put ourselves in the landlord's shoes. Now, one reason why I never put myself in the landlord's shoes is because I've never been a landlord. You know, and as I'm reading these laws, I don't see the benefit of being a landlord. And then the more I read, I start saying like, what is the purpose of most landlords becoming landlords? Y'all are becoming landlords so you can get that money and pay for another house, which is insanity. Let that marinate for a little bit. I will never be a landlord. For what? For what? I let these corporations, but why would be a private landlord for what? Me personally, and I don't know everything, I don't see the benefits of being a private landlord. Not one bit. None. Because once majority of people understand how to use security interests, how does that private landlord benefit? Yeah. Airbnbs, yeah, cool. Airbnbs, yeah. Okay, yeah. Airbnbs, I forgot all about that. But actually, like, having units and having people move in and taking their cat, that is going to be obsolete soon. Not all the way. You always have your folks that don't know what's going on. All right, but me personally, I don't see the benefits of being a landlord. I see all the benefits of being a tenant. All right, most people that are landlords do not understand security interests. Okay, go ask any landlord and say, well, how you feel about Somebody said, what about Section 8 landlords? Government will pay you. Okay, well, yeah, government contracts. But, not a lot of people have government contracts. And again, I don't know everything about landlord. Maybe they know something I don't know. I'm just kind of saying it from a tenant perspective. Me reading these laws, definitely in Florida, I don't see the benefit of being a landlord. I literally see in 83.49 that the landlord is supposed to hold the rent for the benefit of the tenant. And it also says when a tenant prepays, okay, when they give a security, and you got to remember, you got to know what a security is, because when you're reading these laws, they don't say, hey, you gave an application. They don't say things like, hey, you gave a negotiable instrument. Hey, you gave a bill of exchange. They say words like security. Y'all, so many words are literally saying the same thing, and a lot of folks is getting thrown off. I had a guy say, oh, I didn't know my application was a negotiable instrument. I thought negotiable instrument was after I'm in that contract and then I start sending off my tender. I'm like, yo, the negotiable instrument was the instrument that was supposed to be negotiated. The application was supposed to be negotiated. But you see how we will get thrown off. You'll read something like, I get some people say, I don't see that said how it said in yours. Of course it's not going to say the same thing it says in ours. It's going to say it a whole different way to throw you off. That's why you got to understand, what are the other words for a security? Can security be considered money? Can security be considered value? What creates a security? Application. Yeah, they double speaking shit. They triple speaking. They be like, we need money. They're talking about security interests. Like, we need funds. Security interests. There's a due balance owed. Security interests. You see what I'm saying? All right, your application was supposed to be negotiated. That's why it says in Federal Reserve Section 16, Part 1, that it's receivable by all national and member banks. And it's supposed to be accompanied with a tender, meaning instructions on what to do with the application. Because if not, they're going to literally treat you like a what? A minor. Have you repaying something that you've already prepaid? That's the matrix, y'all. Nobody's going to come and strike me down for telling y'all that, because they know majority of people are not going to read. That's the other matrix. It's like a matrix on the matrix. Folks think this is some secret. Man, we got to be careful with this information. Man, shut up. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, because I just remember having like people just making me nervous and shit. That's why you can't be around low people. They'll literally tell you like, oh man, be careful. Be careful of what? Reading? Shut up. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? They be like, man, just be careful, man. You know, they don't want this type of information in our... Shut up. What do you mean they ain't want the information in our hand? Like walking around here stopping you from going to read. You don't want the information in your hand. Man, that's why they call it repayment. But it's a double-sided phrase. Repayment, because if you're not understanding, you'll think repayment means, okay, well, I'm paying the banks back because they gave me something. Not knowing the banks didn't give you nothing. You gave the banks an application. The banks was middleman. Where are my trappers at? Where are my trappers that had a successful trap going? Meaning you had some runners. You could throw them some product. The product go sell itself. You get it back. Boom. All right. It's the same thing with banks. We go in front them an application. They are do girls and do boys. They are runners. Meaning go make these sales. Go securitize. Go monetize these securities. That's what's going on, family. Trapping ain't dead. Folks just ain't elevated. And I'm going to use that slogan. Trapping ain't dead. Folks just did elevate. Because trapping is the same thing on a higher scale. Banks trapping. Banks done reverse the trap. literally getting the products from the plug and then charging the plug a repayment. You talk to somebody, it's like, man, would you ever do that plug? They're like, what? What you mean? So you mean I'm gonna front my runner and then I'm gonna repay my runner? Who gonna do that? I know some of y'all don't know how the trap works, but if you knew how the trap worked, you will understand. That's how banks work. Okay, for all y'all that looks down on the trap, for all y'all that looks down on those types of folks, okay, trust and believe you're not that far. Okay, because at least when they elevate, they'll already understand, like, okay, bet, boom. That's why most people, when I put it in trap analogies, they understand it. But y'all that went to college and got your degrees and you ain't got nothing, have a lick of street knowledge, this stuff is so confusing to you because you've built up this programmed way of thinking like, career, I did so much to get where I am. And I'll just be like, well, you're not nowhere. What are you talking about? You did. Folks be like, I've done so much to get where I'm at. I'm like, where are you, Sally? Sally, what are you talking about, Sally? What are you talking about? What? The trap taught me how to look at the banks. When I read 12 USC 1431, it said the banks are the borrowers. I instantly tapped into my trap mentality. It said, whoa, 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 borrower? Borrower? Whoa, wait a minute. How are they borrowing? That was my first question. What do you mean they borrowing? And they say, yo, they borrow and they have permission to give interest. So I instantly went to, oh my God, when I give my runners my ounces of weed, have them go sell it, okay, I tell them to bring me back this. So I'm the one that's putting on the interest in. Whoa, wait a minute. Don't let me find out the banks are the middleman. And lo and behold, yeah, Sally tripping. Sally said, well, I just don't understand what you're saying. Like, I've done so much to get where I'm at. Sally, you make $60,000 a year. Shut up. Sally, you make $100,000 a year. Shut up. Let's go a little higher. Sally, you make $250,000 a year. Shut up. 365 days, you was only able to muster up $250,000. And I know I'm talking high to the average. That lets you know how far we are. Somebody right now saying, man, that's some good money. What are you talking about? Yeah, some good money to an uninformed person. Imagine only mustering up $100,000 that you didn't even physically see. You just learned that you made that, and it took you 365 days to make that. That is a long time, family. It took you a whole birthday. Think about that. And I'm just here to drive you, not motivate you. I'm here to drive you. Some said, well, some people get that every pay period. Forget a quarter. Some people make that a month. Y'all, can I talk real for a minute? It is church today. It is church today. Okay? Dude said that's not even a Lamborghini. Well, go get me a Lamborghini. Okay? Alright? Alright, so let me talk to you. Let me tell y'all something. Most people that make high earnings, they don't really tell folks that don't fathom. Okay? If you're around people that make around 50, 90,000, 100,000, all you gotta say is, listen, I make 7 figures. When a person hear that, they instantly just say, okay, boom, 7 figures, oh man, he's doing great. Because when you can throw numbers out to a person, that lets you know how low they are. Okay? That lets you know. Alright? Alright, some people say, I don't speak down on my brothers. Okay, well, if you're not speaking up on them, you're speaking down on them. Did you know that? If you're not speaking up on them, you're speaking down. And if you are motivating their average ways, you're speaking down on them. I'll look my homeboys in the eye and say, man, you a damn loser because you're doing the same thing. Okay? And if he takes it as me putting him down, that's because he's already down. Nobody can ever put me down. Okay? Always remember. Okay? So, listen. The trap is not scared. People just haven't elevated because it's the same ordeal when you think about business. Business banks are borrowers and they give you your return. How many of us was messed up, okay, messed up in a trap world? All right, meaning you had to go ask for a front from somebody. I had to do it a couple times. Okay? I had to do it a couple times. Now, you know when you need a front, you got to go to somebody that's giving, right? And you know if you get a front, they going to tax you a little bit, right? Right. But you know once you get that first front and you show them that you can pay it back, they might give you 2. They might give you 3. It's the same ordeal, family. Okay? So what these banks have flipped, literally have said, you are the borrower, we are the creditors, you're going to repay us back. Now remember, banks just stay still. Banks don't ever call you and say, come over here and apply. We see advertisements, we say to ourselves, well, I need a car, let me go to a bank. We go to the banks that are sitting still. We walk through there. All right, and we apply. So that was bringing me back to Tom Smith. When he applied to Estate Landing, he gave them access to his treasury account. His treasury account is basically the accumulation of all the interest that his name has created since birth. Now, Tom Smith might be 50 years old. So Tom Smith's interest account is going to be way higher than somebody that's 18 years old. Okay? Does that make sense? If that makes sense, write 1. If that makes no sense, comment 2. And for those that comment 2, I just need you to listen, family. I don't know how we can break this even simpler, yo. I hate it when they came out with, yo, I just got a brain blast. Really think about this. We are so behind that they literally have books out there called blank, blank, blank for dummies. They have Fixed Car for Dummies. Law for Dummies. Do y'all not see the blatant expression of where we are? Law for Dummies. Some of y'all probably got books at home. Well, I got me how to cook for dummies. What? How far are we? I think we're farther than what we really think. Man, I think we way farther than what, you know, when you think you're right here, when then man, there's a mirage. That shit ain't right there. We think we reaching progression. Y'all, whoa. Man, what was the first book that was called for dummies? They're literally telling you, you are a dummy. Here's a book for your level. It didn't even go this far. How many people don't know about bills of exchange? And I know we understand that that's something you need to know, but how many of us didn't know about that shit? Think about it. Think about all your friends, all your family members that don't know about bills of exchange. Knowing what you know now about bills of exchange, now you see, oh my God, I see why we are the way we are. It's not because we're alcoholics. It's not because we're drug users. It's because we are uninformed. When you're uninformed, you tend to start venturing to things that aren't in your best interest. Okay? Overly sexualizing things. Drugs. Alcohol. Overly getting entertainment. Overly working yourself. You know what I'm saying? You start doing a bunch of things that if you start to understand, like, yo, you're only alcoholic because your brain didn't have the options. So the only thing your mind could have resorted to was something negative. That's why you have to isolate to elevate. If you don't isolate from your peers, from your family, okay, you're in the same energy. You're not going to have certain thoughts because those high thoughts cannot stoop that low. Imagine us saying, man, I just need a sign. I just need a blessing. That's like, why you think the whole narrative, we got to look up when we pray? Look up to what? Why do we look up when we pray? It's instantly giving you a peasant standpoint. It's instantly giving you a peasant standpoint. Every time you get into the stage of need, you do what? You either drop to your knees and look up. God, I need you. What's up there? Everything is in here. You see what I'm saying? We're so far behind, even when we get in a form of desperation, you know what I'm saying? It don't even make sense. It's laughable. But you know, if somebody poured their heart out right now, drop days, help me now, God, I need you. Man, if somebody start busting out laughing, you be like, hey man, you going to hell. And it's like, no, they're not going to hell, because this is funny. Get off your knees, Susan. What are you doing? Ain't nothing up there. Ain't nothing about to fall out the sky. Get your ass up and go read your damn contract. It's like a little kid crying, I just don't know where my Barbie doll at. Well, get your ass up and go clean your room up. It's under your damn bed. All the clothes on it. Clean your room up. You can find your Barbie dolls. Man. Ooh wee. I'm scared to go to church, right? The uninformed church. The informed church, yes. I'm scared to go to an uninformed church and just sitting there just seeing everyone pouring their heart out. And it's like, man, you ain't going through nothing. Imagine if I walked in your church and said that. Got the mic and said, man, all y'all ain't going through nothing. You just ain't reading nothing. That's what's going on. Ain't no damn devil. You ain't broke because God said be broke. Ain't nothing in the Bible said God said be broke. It literally says you shall perish for the lack of knowledge. And look at Miss Smith over there. She's uninformed, so she's perishing for her lack of knowledge. That's why she getting cheated on. Okay? Look at Phil over there, drunk as hell. Okay? He ain't drunk because God said be drunk or the devil said be drunk. He drunk because he's uninformed. Okay? He's uninformed. They go like, man, get this guy off the mic. I'm like, no, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. They gonna have to call the cops. I ain't going nowhere. Y'all gonna hear this today. Over here crying to this pastor, man. He's struggling too. Y'all don't think he's struggling? Even the highest paid pastor is struggling. Because he has to keep that up. He gotta keep it up. They battling so much behind them doors, y'all. Most low people, they just see money and like, oh man, he got so much money, he good. No, he's not. No, he's not. Okay? No, he's not. Oh, they will call Mr. Gaia 35. My bad if I said that wrong. They will call the cops. I've seen congregations call the cops on the pastor because the pastor got booted out and the new pastor came and the old pastor didn't want to leave. They called the cops. So yeah. All right, but just seeing people pour themselves and not understand what the problem is. Imagine telling yourself, the devil just won't let me go. Ain't no damn devil. You just didn't read your lease. That's why the lease is whooping your ass right now. That's why you got to do something strange for a piece of change. That's why the song go, what would you do if your son was at home, crying on the floor, on the bedroom floor, because he's home? Why is he hungry? Talking about the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little minute. What? Shut up. What are you talking about? That's what your mind went to? That's like saying, imagine this. I walk in the kitchen, I'm cooking, I get a cut on my finger. It hurts. So I say, I guess I got to cut off my arm. What type of barbaric? What would you do if your son was at home, crying on the floor, on the bedroom, because he's hungry? And the only way to feed him is to sleep with the man for a little bit of money. Not even a lot of money. Not even a lot of money. She said for a little bit of money. Now his dad is gone. Some now. Now. I ain't got no job now. Man, it sounds like it's her. The fact you'll sleep with a man for a little bit of money just to feed your kids, that's probably why the daddy left. Okay? Family. Let's flip it. Flip it to a guy. Most street guys that get into a tight spot, what do? Put a mask on. Meaning of all the ideas you could have mustered up, the one idea that came to your mind is, man, shit, let me mask up. Let me go take something. You child. You little kid. It's like my little son said, all right, y'all don't want to give me that? I'm about to start taking shit. Like, boy, sit your head down somewhere. What? You ain't taking nothing. Get over there in the corner. Learn to share. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's like, yo, we are all sick. We all sick. For y'all that think you in the good, for those that's in working corporate, oh my God, I was in the airport and I just heard two people talking. Oh, it made my head hurt. And I know everybody doesn't know, but I'm just saying, when you know, yo, family, you can hear a lot of different things. Okay? They were just like, well, I don't have one of those times. I have a corporate job. And, having a corporate job, you have to be there. And I was just like, I just want to be like, Rebecca, shut up. Please. That's all I wanted to say. Shut up. I got a corporate job. What does that even mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? And they got a peasant spirit on them when they be like, well, I work for them folks. How many times y'all heard that? Well, I work for them folks, so I'm like, okay, what the hell does that mean? You work for some damn people. Everybody that's an employee work for some damn people. What are you talking about? Man, I had to put down the culture, y'all. I had to. I was like, man, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Man, what? Well, I got a good job. What is a good job? Well, I control my own hours. You control your own hours, but you don't control your own time. Oh, that's another bar. Man, we got bars today. We got bars. You control your own schedule, but you don't control your own time. Damn. Where is this coming from? I gotta write a song today. That's what that means. Normally when I'm kicking out bars like this, I gotta write a song. Man. Sheesh. I remember making my own schedule at a job and still feel like I was on a time. And I know y'all feel the same way. You probably didn't even think about that shit. It got to a point you want to work from home job because you want to feel at home while you work. Do y'all see what is going on? You're supposed to separate work from home. You have people now wanting to bring their work home. Now you're talking about work at home. You're not living. You don't control your own time. Because now when the clock stops, meaning you get off at 5, you're still thinking about work tomorrow. Alright, that's why it's important, family. You read and it's going to be hard starting out. A lot of y'all are trying to dodge the beginning process because it's difficult. You're not understanding. Once you get through that difficult part, everything else is smooth. Okay? Information it comes so naturally now. But I had to get through that training wheel process, feeling like I always had to have somebody hear me. I feel like I had to talk to somebody. And then once I got out of that mindset and like literally got into a cocoon, was like, hey, yo, I don't need to talk to anybody. Let me just go read. Whatever I don't understand, I'm going to look it up. Whatever I don't understand, I'm going to go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, what does this mean? I'm going to go to Google. Google, what does this mean? Now I might get different answers, but I'm going to take away from the common denominator. That was one thing we learned in public schools, how to comprehend, how to read a passage and comprehend. But a lot of us stopped using our comprehension and started putting on this peasant understanding of, okay, I got to work to live. Yeah, you got to get used to language. It's just like a foreigner coming over here and learning English. You think that stops them? What? Oh, all I got to do is learn the language and I can come over here and start a business? Oh, sign me up. Let's go. We going to America. Load it up. Easy. Easy. We just got to learn the language of law. Now, imagine those foreigners coming over here learning English, learning the public way of business, but then learning the private way of business. Ooh, y'all think y'all mad now? Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Trump was saying make America great again, talking about, not saying other people aren't great, just saying, yo, we need to make Americans great again. Yo, we lacking. We're falling off right now. We're dumb. We got books for dummies out here. We're laughing stock. Ain't no other country got no books for dummies. What? Think about it. Equity for dummies. Contract for dummies. Yeah, they be getting busy. Make America great again. Or shall we say, make America informed again. Make Americans informed again. Okay? Because if you're not informed, family, we're not progressing. It doesn't matter what president comes. Doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter, family. It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat in there or a Republican there. What happens when you open your eyes up? Alright, what happens when you open your eyes up? Are you going to work? Are you doing everything you can to keep the job, to keep food on the table? Come on, man. That's they were doing that in the 50s. Wake Americans up again. Oh, that's a slogan right there. I might got to steal that from you. For sure, for sure. Yeah, that's mine now, family. I apologize. Let me just put the slogan out for it. Because I can reach some folks, reach more people, but I'll definitely give you your credit. Wake Americans up again. For sure. For sure, I gotta get that, family. I gotta get that on the t-shirt. For sure, for sure. Alright, but yes, once we become more informed, you will start seeing more inventors from America. You will start seeing more products made in America. You will start seeing just America becoming a gold mine again. Again. Your honest opinion, what you think is going to happen in the future to the uniformed folks? What you mean uniform? You mean the informed folks? Informed folks will always be good, man. Like, that's one thing we got to realize. Those that are informed will always be good because they always can adapt. Those that cannot adapt are those that are not informed. Okay? Somebody said we don't want to be federal. Says who? Well, I want to be both. I want to be both. I definitely want to be federally backed. Come on, man, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch your words, family. You gotta watch your words. I know folks is out here saying this is. You gotta watch your words. You gotta know what they're saying. You gotta know what they're saying. You definitely want to be federally backed. Do y'all know those people that are called, what is it? people that don't have socials, those that don't got socials, I forgot what is it called. What type of person is that called? A person that don't have a social, dang, what is it called, y'all? What is it called when a person don't have a social? So basically, a person that don't have any socials, that don't have any type of documentation, they aren't federally backed. So, literally, y'all, there's a law. I'm gonna pull it for you. I know Brandon Joe Williams, he posted it as well on his page. He was talking. It said that if you are a non-citizen, it was something else. Not a non. It was something else. But if you aren't something, by non-something, meaning you're not fairly back, and you might be prone to face sexual abuse or violence. When I read that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad I'm fairly back, because if somebody does anything to me, the government has to come and defend me. You're stateless. Yes, stateless. Alright, stateless. A stateless person, meaning you don't... Who's protecting you? So for all else, basically, I want to be free. I want to be... Like, yo, you got to understand, this ain't no peaches and cream fairy tales. There's some damn boogeymen out there. Imagine you getting kidnapped, stuck in the basement, but they don't got no record on it because you're a stateless citizen. They don't know what's going on. They're not about to go send no resources out for you. They'll try their best. But you're stateless. You said you don't want no parts of the United States. You say you don't want no parts of America. You say you want to go off grid. If you are stateless, the federal government cannot protect you. Yeah, man, what the world, man, all the bad guys about to have their way with you. Oh, he's stateless? Oh, we about to sell his organs. Man, what? Man, y'all be careful. Y'all be careful. I'm glad I got a contract with the United States. I'm glad I'm part of the Constitution. I'm glad I'm one of the people in the we the people. Okay, I'm glad I'm federally backed. I'm glad I can exercise federal laws against any violators. Okay, I ain't going anywhere. If y'all that want to go off grid and be outside, have your way. Have your way. Have your way. I don't even think people really understand what it means to go off grid. All right, going off grid. Okay, you can still be doing business, but just live off grid. It's just about having a private address, family. People thought going off grid was going in the woods. Oh man, y'all, we are hilarious. Okay, you know, you probably walking, you pass invisible people all the time. Invisible people are people that you can see, but they're not there. I'm gonna say it again, invisible people are people you can see, but they're not there. Meaning, okay, you might think they're generally moving in the public like you, but they're not. But they're not. But they're not. Okay? But they're not. Somebody said they gotta watch The Walking Dead. Well, you get a preview of The Walking Dead every time you open your eyes and walk out your door. Okay? Just go down to the mall. Go to the airport. Alright, go to your local grocery store. Alright, go down to your courthouse. Alright, go to the park. Alright, you see a lot of dead people. It's a bunch of dead people. Y'all heard Trump. We got people that's dying that's never died before. That went over so many people's heads. Y'all was laughing at them. We got people that are dying and they never died before. Again, y'all, there's folks that are informed and there's folks that's just would never be informed. You know what I'm saying? Everything is going to be like, man, what is he even talking about? Well, how about you find out what he's talking about? Maybe you will see your life is in shambles. Once I learned my life was in shambles, I got my life together. But I didn't know my life was in shambles because I was around so many other people that's life was in shambles as well. So once I saw that and said, wait a minute, I cannot judge myself around those that are in my current surrounding, because again, I'm only using 5% of my brain. So these 5% of peers I've created, or these 5% of family members that I'm attached to, all right, they might not be there when I start elevating at my 30%, 35, 40%. Hopefully they're there, but I got to be realistic. This is not a fairy world. Okay, they might not be there. Okay, because a lot of things comes down to them being there on your 35%. They have to elevate as well. Meaning they have to say the same thing you're telling yourself. They got to say it to them like, hey, I want to be better. Because a friend can't want you to be better. So for the person that said, I don't talk down to my brothers, if you don't talk up to them, you're talking down to them. And literally letting your brothers and sisters do the same thing over and over, and you don't challenge them, my friend, you're no better than them. All right? So yes, talk down on your people, okay, to bring them up. Sometimes you got to break people down to build them up, because imagine trying to build somebody up on their foundation. It's not going to make sense. At one point in time, it's going to tilt over. So you got to break a person's ego down, break down whatever they thought was right. Talking about step on it. Y'all remember Snoop Dogg and Baby Boy when Tyrese's son had his fork? Snoop Dogg walked right through there. Man, forget your fork. That's how you got to be. My friends tell me, I just got a new job at a bank. I'm like, man, forget your bank job, peasant. Get off my phone. And I hang up. I get text messages like, you don't got to be like that. I get your message, but, you know, you can be more kinder. Like, more kinder to a peasant that knows what's going on? You're not kind to yourself. So I ain't going to be kind to you. You disrespect yourself, so I'm going to disrespect you. Okay? We ain't doing that, family. We ain't doing that. I don't care if you say I got a job with the president. Is he helping you collect your interest? It's weak. If you ain't saving lives, you're weak. All right? I'm about to take some of Andrew Tate energy. Weakling. All right? If you're not saving lives, you are weak. That's what it is. Okay? You're not changing the world. You're not changing the world. Folks say, well, shoot, if I don't go to work, hell, how these oranges gonna get to these groceries? Man, shut up. Come on. Now we ain't gonna do that. Now I did all the jobs. I done did all the jobs you could possibly do. All right, the only job I ain't do, what haven't I done? I haven't worked in the health field. I haven't worked in the health field, but everything else I've done, family. And if you're not saving lives, you're wasting your life. Okay? Yeah, I could, but it's y'all gonna hear the cars and stuff. Somebody asks, what if the rental company doesn't know how to handle what you're trying to do? Well, you gotta look at it like this. You have to explain to themselves. All right, you got to explain to them the basics of the contract. You got to explain to them accounting principles. When you understand accounting principles, it makes the articulation way easier, because it's easier for me to prove that there's a positive balance and the balance is owed to the principal than it is for me to say, yo, this is a security. Y'all did this, y'all did that. I could literally get to them specifically breaking down the accounting basics. The accounting basics is I'm the owner, they're the account managers. The account due is due to the principal, and since I'm in control of the principal, the due bill is due to me. Okay, it's due to me. So you got to understand, once you can understand that basic, that's going to be your basic conversation, the genesis of your conversation. Like, hey, I understand that I'm the owner. I understand that y'all are the account managers. All right, I understand that I haven't sent certain instructions into y'all, but I just want to ask a couple questions about the security interest that is involved with my contract. Okay, for sure, for sure. And again, some of y'all might not understand this in this lifetime. All right, but this is the information that's going to build for your next lifetime. Some of y'all might not get the remedy or results in this lifetime, but your next lifetime, you're going to come in this world more informed. You're going to transfer that DNA that you have right now, you're going to transfer it to your next lifetime. So open up as much DNA, all right, information is in DNA, all right, but you open up DNA by elevating, by challenging yourself. You don't open up new DNA by staying in the same realm, staying around the same frequencies. All right, you open up DNA by elevating. The more DNA you open up, the more information you can tap into. So by the time you transition and come back, okay, you can basically start way further than you did in this lifetime, because that's how it's supposed to go. Every single lifetime, you're supposed to start further than you did the previous lifetime. Okay, you're not supposed to be doing the same thing they did in the 50s, same thing they did in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. You got folks that are literally working the same job as somebody that worked in the 40s. You see what I'm saying? That's insanity. And only a humble person is going to say, well, you're doing all you can. Because that humble person is not informed. Okay? Not informed at all. Alright? Not informed at all. Okay? So, for those that want to know what's like literally the whole process, the taxes, the endorsement process, the building your case for arbitration, building your case for a lawsuit. Okay, family, I have a mentorship in September. All right, we got a couple of weeks to go. All right, we're meeting 3 times a week. 3 times a week. 3 hours a day for the full month of September. If it was me, I would say go ahead and clear out your September. All right, any birthdays you had planned, cancel them. Okay, any trips you had, go ahead and cancel. I promise you. All right, you're going to be able to take way more trips after this information. Okay, after you learn this information, you're going to be able to take way more trips. You're going to be able to celebrate birthdays every day. Okay, yes, it's for beginners as well. I show you from step A all the way to Z. All right, but you got to understand there's a lot of data. All right, there's a lot of information. I'm going to try to make it as entertaining as possible. Okay, but there's a lot of information. Remember, we're trying to literally change, however old we are, we're trying to change that amount of uninformed information, throw it out, and put in new information. So y'all remember, it's a process, family. It's not an overnight thing. Again, I'm gonna make it fun. I'm gonna make it entertaining. All right, it ain't gonna be no fluff. We're gonna get right to it. Okay, but yes, that's gonna be in September. 3 times a day, no, 3 times a week, 3 hours a day for the full month of September. All right, the overhead on that is $2,000. Okay, we are accepting Zelle for that, or PayPal, or however you can get your seat in. Okay, but yes, we're going over a lot of information that we talk on here, that we can't talk on here, because due to the fact that I don't want to say things on here and then you go and do it and then put yourself in a bad situation and then be in my inbox and say, I did what you said do, bro, it messed me up, what I do now? That's why I say get the mentorship, so you can get a full curriculum. The more of the formula that you understand, family, the easier the process is going to be for you. Okay? Literally. The more you are informed, the more you know the formula, okay, the easier the process is going to be for you. Alright? So, make sure y'all tap in with that. If you're interested in that, go ahead. And for those that have signed up through Eventbrite, because I got the link in my bio for mentorship, I know it's free to sign up, but after you sign up, you need to read the description, because it tells you how the mentorship is going to be ran and where to send your funds. Books before mentorship, no books, just your contract. Just really start reading your contract, so by the time mentorship come around, you've already read it, so everything we go through, it's like you already kind of, oh, okay, cool, I seen that. All right, one thing, I ain't gonna say you don't want to do, but you don't want to come to the mentorship just not knowing nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to kind of be studying up until then. Yeah, I do these mentorships throughout the year. Probably have them like every 3 months. We're going to be in New York. I was supposed to do New York September. I'm gonna do New York the end of October. That way I get to wear my coat. Yeah, I get to wear my yeah. We're gonna do New York end of October. New York is end of October. Start getting that flyer out there, getting that link up there as well. But until then, the main thing we're focused on right now is mentorship. Make sure y'all tap in, family, because again, this is gonna set you up. It's gonna set you up. Okay, like meaning the informed way. You're gonna understand how to read all contracts. You're gonna understand how to claim interest. You're gonna know how to articulate yourself when it comes to different situations. All right, and family, there's not a dollar amount you can put on having the capacity to contract. Learning to have the capacity to contract is kind of different than just knowing what capacity to contract is. That makes sense. When you really have it, when you learn to have the capacity to contract, so many people say, I got capacity to contract. No, you don't. Okay, no, you don't. If you had capacity to contract, you wouldn't need to always be on buying classes all the time. You wouldn't. You're not saying classes are bad, but I'm just saying, if you had capacity to contract, you don't need classes. Capacity to contract is understanding contract, the basis of contracting. And you know once you understand the basic of contracting, you can force the laws that you have rights to in the contract. That's the name of the game, family. The battle of the contract, the battle for rights over contract. It's not even a battle for us. All we gotta do is claim it. All right. But for those that can't make it to the mentorship, I still have classes available. I have a class called Benefits of Being a Tenant. Benefits of Being a Tenant basically breaks down the benefits that you have when you read your lease. Okay? Literally. Alright? Somebody said I was never taught much about defense. I'm learning daily. Yeah, family, because a lot of folks has never played no sports out here. A lot of these teachers out here, they teaching you one way. They saying, just send this in. Send this in. You good. They got to do this. If they don't do this, it's a violation. Okay, it's a violation. So how do I enforce this violation? Okay, how do I enforce this violation? Like, how do I play defense? Because if I don't play defense and I just give up points, I'm going to lose. And a lot of people that can't play defense lose. So my best advice would be, again, go to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT like words like questions like, what are the steps or rules and procedures when filing a lawsuit? What is this rules and procedures in eviction if I am the tenant? Alright, but yeah, I got that benefit of being a tenant. Shows you exactly how to look at your lease. All leases are security interests or security collaterals. Alright, I also got a class called Benefits of Reading Your Contract. Alright, literally break down a contract. We break down a car contract. Literally says in the car contract you can buy this car for cash or for credit. Alright, it then says you have purchased this for credit. So if the woman purchased it for credit, why is she giving cash? That's because she hasn't expressed that she wants to use a security agreement or security collateral to cover all debts owed. All right, so that's in my benefits of reading your contract. I got another class called Enforce and Endorse Reloaded. I know I got a class on there called Advanced Course. That advanced course is the Endorse and Enforce Reloaded is the advanced course. So don't get the advanced course. I'm about to take that down today. Go ahead and get the Enforce and Endorse Reloaded. Okay, because that's going to show you step by step how to properly endorse. Okay, step by step how to properly articulate your tender. But family, please don't just buy my class and just start sending stuff in. Please keep paying your rent. Please keep paying your bills. Okay, until you understand how to properly do it. The only way to properly know how to do it is by reading on your own. Okay, it's going over the information that you're reading on your own. I see somebody said I'm in so much trouble. You're not in trouble. You're just uninformed. And once you see what's going on, you can fix any problem ever. As long as you didn't kill, steal, or destroy, you're not in trouble. Will the Enforce and Endorse be updated? Nah. For what? Law don't change, family. Law don't change. Alright, laws don't change. Okay? My last class, I got a beginner course for all beginners. I believe that's like $50. I go over about 6 acts that I feel you should know going into this journey. We go over the Banking Act, we go over the Constitution, we go over the Sister K. Vi Act of 1666, we go over the Truth in Lending Act, a bunch of acts. Somebody said, does billing error still work? When did it not work? I mean, you asking that question in the form of it was a hobby, like it worked last year, but it don't work this year. It lets me know you didn't read anything about billing error. So go study what billing error is, and you let me know if Congress says it doesn't work anymore. That's my best advice. Because if I sit here and say, yeah, it worked, you're going to be like, oh, okay, bet. And if I say, nah, it don't work, you're going to be like, all right, cool, that's what I thought. You see what I'm saying? Go see for yourself. Type in billing error. Go ask ChatGPT, what is billing error? Am I still going to have access to the endorsed enforced class? Yeah, you should have lifetime use. Now, you might have issues made down the road where something needs to be updated or something like that. Maybe need to change your password, but yeah, for sure. Somebody said if we already bought the advanced course, what happens with that and should we still use it? Goddess, why wouldn't you use something that has information in it? Why do y'all think it's something that, okay, well, it's something new out there, let me put this down. People got results with that advanced course. It has information, it's just to reload it has more, meaning we go a little further. We not change, none of my classes we change anything up. Okay? So yes, you can still use it. It's useful. Yeah, it's useful. So yes, class shows you how to. Oh, my bad if you misunderstood, but yeah, don't put that down. Yeah. If you want to get the reloaded, it has more information in it. That's the only difference. It just has more. So the reloaded has everything that advanced has, but the reloaded just has more. Somebody said, are you saying billing error? I'm saying billing error. Error. E-R-O-R. Billing error. Yeah, I do sound country, my bad. Error. Chat. G. PT. Chat GPT. Yeah, the advanced, if you got the advanced course, yeah, for sure. I'm saying if you want to get that reloaded, it just has more information in it. October, my New York class, I haven't even thought about the price yet. But we'll figure that out for sure. This will be at a weekend in October, at the end of October, weekend in October. Do you need a TDA account? Well, family, go research TDA accounts. And you think, you let me know if that's what you want. Everything is useful. And you just answered your own question. You said, do you need a TDA account to transfer your securities? Who did you hear say that? Okay. And why didn't you look that up when you first heard it? And again, y'all, this is accountability. This is not me being a smart ass or anything. This is accountability. You see what I'm saying? Why haven't you looked that up? Because I can say, yeah, you can use that. Most people, you're going to do what? Not go look at it and go ask another person, hey, you think we need a TDA account? So, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You got to, once we understand how to look up stuff for ourselves, fam, we don't need nobody. We just need somebody to point us in the direction. Boom. Do I need a TD account, the Treasury Direct account? Okay, I can send security. Yeah. But do I need this to get remedy? No, that's two different things. You see what I'm saying? That's two different things. I can get remedy and not have the security transferred, but I want the security transferred, so I will go ahead and set those things up. It's not something that, well, let me wait to set it. If you can set it up, set it up. But just know what you're doing. Don't just go off somebody say, hey, yeah, do that, do that. That's all you got to do is read. That's it. That's been the kryptonite of so many people. That's been the kryptonite of so many people. And a lot of people think we gatekeeping, when we say, hey, go read this. Like, why you can't just tell me? I'm like, what? Because if I tell you, you're not going to understand it. Go read it so you can get the full context. A good starting point is your contract, is your lease agreement. All right, go home, figure out all your bills. All right, get all the contracts on all those accounts, line them out, read them. It may take you a couple of weeks. Read them. Okay, that's where it starts, family. There is no VIP line. There is no, let me just give you 10K, bro, and you do it for me. I don't do that. Me personally. Okay, for me personally. But yeah, that's what it is, family. Courses are available. Information is available always. Information has always been available. Alright, so y'all just make sure y'all stay due diligent. I'm going to post this live. Make sure y'all share this to somebody that's stressing about rent, that's stressing about mortgage. Share this to somebody that's not stressing about rent and that's not stressing about mortgage. Because again, y'all each one teach one, and the more people that sees this information, because again, I'm going to break it down properly. Alright, so if you share my page to somebody that trusts and believe, let them know, hey, viewer discretion is advised. That's what you got to say. Alright, let them know, like, hey, man, he might say a little curse word here and there. Alright, but the information is gold, and you can literally Google as he's talking to you. Alright, let them know that. Alright, because I know I might come off as, a little raw to a lot of folks. A lot of y'all be trying to show me to y'all grandmas, or your granddads. A lot of old heads don't really, but just receive information in this form. Some folks need to have the person, no face tats, no neck tats, suit, tie, keep their hands in a triangle formation. Okay, so and I'm just not that guy. So just let folks know when y'all do share it, just say, hey, viewer discretion is advised. But if you tired of paying bills, listen to this information. Yeah, not everybody, but you got some folks that are. So I had a woman that inboxed me, said, brother, do you got any classes where you're not cussing? And I was like, I don't have any classes. I cuss on here. I don't have any. Do I cuss a lot in my courses? Y'all let me know. I haven't watched any of my courses in a while. I don't think I cuss in my courses. You know what I'm saying? But the lady, she was like, yeah, you cussing a lot. And I was like, well, which course do you have? And she was like, I don't have any courses. But so she was talking about my Instagram. I was like, oh, yeah, guys, I talk like that on here, but in my classes, it's straight structured. It's, and she was just like, well, do you got a book where you don't cuss? I'm like, my God, I got classes where I don't cuss. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what are we talking about right now? We're talking about damn cuss words. Like, we're like kids. Like, oh my God, she cussed. Like, come on, man. Because if I'm sure my curse word isn't as bad as your lifestyle. And that's not me putting anybody down, but I'm saying again, I'm sure my cuss words is not as bad as an uninformed lifestyle. Yeah, so yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, so this information will go over folks' heads, but just don't let it go over your head. If folks don't want to tap in with me, how about you be the example? You show them what it looks like. You show them what it be, because they might not trust me, but they'll trust you. Okay? They might not listen to me, but they'll listen to you. And if they don't listen to me or listen to you, that should tell you what you need to do, right? And that rhyme. If they don't listen to me and don't listen to you, that should tell you what to do. Okay? And with that being said, y'all, peace and love. Alright? I can't wait to see a bunch of y'all on the Remedy side. Okay? I can't wait to see a bunch of y'all with your families rejoicing, understanding like really what it's like to take your time back. Okay? Really what it's like taking your schedule back. Okay? Because we can laugh and ha-he all day. All day. But when that first of the month come, that's when the truth shows. What is you doing with the bill? How is your emotions when that bill come? You're supposed to feel good at the first of the month, not bad. Imagine that. Every first of the month, you starting off feeling bad. Now your whole month start. You see what I'm saying, y'all? It's a psychological thing that's going on, y'all. Okay, so y'all just be aware, get informed, stay due diligent, get around some people that you can relate to, that might not be physical, that might just be digital. Get you some digital friends. Okay, get you some digital friends and really see where your life can go, family. All right, y'all. But yeah, peace and love. Y'all be safe.